As you're aware, I visited one center yesterday and I was named the Renewed Hope Agenda. So I know that the state clearly understands the Renewed Hope Agenda, and the fact that it's part of its focus is youth development, economic inclusion, and this program we've come to talk about is part of how we can get young people to be better included in the decisions that we make and in the development that we have in Nigeria. So we're here in Jigawa State to talk to you about the Nigeria Jubilee Fellows Program. This is a flagship youth employability program of the federal government of Nigeria. It was started in 2022. It's a program that was created in the Office of the Vice President and implemented by the United Nations Development Fund program, and currently funded by the European Union. And that's the initial funding. The idea is that ultimately this program will be funded by the federal government of Nigeria, supported by development partners, and supported by our partners across the space that are interested in working with young people. And it was designed to address an employment challenge that exists globally, but also very prevalent in Nigeria. Young people are looking for opportunities to work, and organizations always keep saying, well, young people don't have skills, so they cannot work. And so, again, it's a chicken and egg situation. You can't work if you don't have experience, but you need to work to get experience. And so this program has been designed as a bridge between school and the workplace. So it provides for a 12-month fellowship for young and enterprising graduates who have completed NYSC to participate in the program. And then we look for host organizations where they can then work for 12 months and get the experience that is required to move them into full employment or go into entrepreneurship. And in our engagements across the country and in the way the program has been run so far, I think one thing is really clear to us as a country. We do not think we really have a talent deficit. What we have is an opportunity deficit. Yeah. And what this program is designed to do is to bridge that opportunity deficit. Because our young people are talented, they are creative, and all that. And since inception, this program has so far reached about 29,000 young people across the country. Now, last year, we had the mandate to redesign the program from the Vice President. And so it was redesigned, and the NGFP 2.0 was launched in October of 2025. And at the launch, the Vice President said, we wanted to deploy 24,000 graduates within the next 10 months from that time. And then subsequently deploy a minimum of 20,000 people annually. Minimum, because we can do more. And I'm happy to report that as at yesterday, we had already done about 19,000 of the 24,000 that were meant to deploy. And what that tells us is that there's acceptance of the program. It tells us that the program is working, and what we need to do now is to scale the program. And scaling the program then needs to involve every other person. Jigawa State has not done very well in the program. Jigawa State has currently done 371, right, to date since inception. And we are here in the state to make sure that we change that number dramatically. And I think we have all the ingredients required to change that. Yesterday, incidentally, Your Excellency, I went around with Dr. Obali to see some vocational training centers. And the one place that blew my mind was when we went to see the tractors and the harvesters and everything, like 300. I'd never seen those number of tractors before in my life in one place. And And for me, what that tells us is really that as a governor, you are really committed to the development of the people. And this is where the synergy between the Jubilee Fellows program and this comes. I mean, the tractors, we need drivers, the centers, we need accountants, the harvesters will need to be operated. The whole value chain will need human beings to support. And you're already being deliberate about, infrastructure development, providing the things young people need, and then building the human capital that is required to get that done. And that's really great. And I really commend you.
The village state you are seeing from Abuja, you now have a different impression of it. Because that's exactly, you people in Abuja, you look at us as a village state. But we want to prove to you that we are no longer a village state. So I think what we are coming with the Jubilee Fellows, I think is a good program. And it's part of the 12-point agenda of this administration. The first things when we came in, the first agency we established is this Agency for Youth Empowerment and Employment. That was the first agency we established when we came into power. This is to show you that we have concern for our youth. I will ask, why do we have to think of doing that? When we went throughout the state during campaign period, one thing that strikes my mind everywhere I go is the number of youths that welcome us. And my thinking was, look, all these people are looking after me, and I need to provide for them. That has been in my mind. And that was the reason why the first thing we did when we came in is to see how do we get these youth engaged in one thing or the other. And I think as of today, we are happy to say that we are making a very good progress along that line. Apart from the skill acquisition centers, we have a lot of innovations. I'm sure the Renew Hope Engineering, you have seen it, and you have seen the Bola Ahmad Chulumbu Economy Empowerment Centers. In fact, whatever we are doing, youth are in our focus. In whatever, either we are doing health, either we are doing education, either we are doing community empowerment, whatever we are doing, social protection we are doing, whatever you think, youth are in our focus. That is why when we came in, I can still tell you that we have employed more than 10,000 youths in both education, health, and agriculture. When we came in, more than 10,000, they are still there. So this is to tell you the youth are in our focus. This is in addition to other ad hoc arrangements. When we would realize that our schools are being vandalized, and some of these youths we have, they don't have the required skills. But when we are training some to give them the skills, but we need also to engage others. And we have taken almost 9,900 additional youths to look after the infrastructures in our primary schools, secondary school, our courts, and our hospitals. This is in addition to the 10,000 we have taken. 9,900. They are still now earning their living. They have a means of livelihood. So the Jubilee program, I think, is something that is part and parcel of our agenda. It's unfortunate that maybe because you are looking at us as a village state, that's why we didn't do well. We are under 300 when we are doing our own here. So you can see, well, you say we did only 300, but here on our own part, we did more than 20,000. So I think this is a program that is so dear to our heart, because anything that has to do with the youth in Jigawa State is something that we always try as much as possible. And this is in addition to students who have been given scholarship people that we have taken from undergraduate to go do masters, some of them to do PhD in various fields. And that's exactly what we are doing. Because we believe these youths are the future of Jigawa State. So we need to empower them. We need to carry them along. So I think the Jubilee program, you don't even need to get our commitment. We are already committed to that. Whatever figure you are giving us, we are going to multiply 100%. We are going to 100%. If you are giving us 500, we are going to do 1,000. If you are giving us 800, we are going to do 1,600. Yes, we will do that so that we will be able to recover the gap that we have not been able to achieve when you are viewing us as an village state. But I'm sure now your impression must have changed on Jigawa State.